Hello everyone and good morning. We are going to be doing a nice quick vlog style of some of my morning tasks that I like to do. A lot of you had questions on when to go ahead and start bottom watering and how to know if you need to go ahead and water your plants. Also, I will show you an update of my solo cups because my tomatoes are looking awesome. So we're gonna make this short and sweet so that way when it does come time to water, you might know what to look for. So first off, here is one of my racks. We actually just went to Home Depot, and if you can see right here, we added some PVC piping so I could go ahead and make a new spot for some of my tomatoes right now. And I have my large seed starting mat. So I just started salvia and gomphrena yesterday. So those are on the heat mat right now. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I make sure they stay moist throughout the day. So it's pretty simple. I just go ahead every morning and I take the humidity dome off. Just be careful because there will be some condensation on it. And I just take a spray bottle and I just make sure I lightly mist over every single cell. After a while, you'll kind of see which ones are starting to dry out. I feel like it's the ones towards the back and the outside that get a little bit drier quickly, and it's as simple as that. So I just go ahead, put this back on, and then I'm gonna go ahead and move on over to the next one and do the same exact thing. So here we have some of my gomphrena. Again, I'm just gonna go ahead and lightly mist them. You don't wanna oversaturate them, especially at the beginning. They should still be pretty moist since we did go ahead and add water to the seed starting mix. And then you just wanna make sure you go ahead and get it on. It has a good seal. There we go. All right, and then we're moving on to the next lot. And again, quickly spritzing them. And then we'll do these ones over here as well. And it is as simple as that. So that is how every morning I go ahead and make sure that my seed starting trays get watered. So back here, hidden underneath all these wires, this is my hollyhocks. They are looking fantastic right now. I do go ahead and turn this fan on to go ahead and strengthen them. They have definitely took off since I up potted them, but they look so good. And what I like to do is I just go ahead and touch the soil. It's a little bit firm, so I'm gonna go ahead and bottom water them right now. Now my goal is to go ahead and try and fertilize anything that needs to on the weekends. I like to use Neptune's Harvest. I will say it does have a little bit of a fish odor, and all I do is I add a splash to my solo cup. So this one just has plain water. The other one does have some because I don't want to over fertilize. And all I do is just go ahead and dump it in the tray. And then this one, since they're larger, they do generally take about 2. And as you can see, the water is sitting on the bottom. I'm gonna come back in about 45 minutes to an hour. And if there's anything left, I will go ahead and dump it out from the bottom of the tray. And I do the same thing with all of my perennials or any of my flowers like this. And I just wanted to show you how you can kind of see the difference of the soil color when it is moist versus dry. So here is I think these are my black-eyed Susans, yes. So if you can see here, these ones in the middle, they're squishy. Those ones are going to be nice and moist. And I just took these off the heat mat not too long ago. And then these ones on the ends, they are much lighter than this. So these ones are definitely drier. So what I like to go ahead and do, if it's, especially ones that are just starting off, I just go into my spray bottle and I just give it a quick little burst. That way I'm not getting the other ones too waterlogged. And some of these are still sprouting. So I'm just gonna go ahead and find the dry ones, and you can see right away the difference in color. And some of these are still waiting to germinate, so I don't want to go ahead and just bottom water too much. So I will go through and just find any of the drier ones, spritz them. And the same thing with my bee balm. You can see here, the soil is darker. These are moist. And then these ones right here, it's usually the ones that don't have anything in them, I feel like. Those ones I'll go ahead and give a quick spritz. But I do have some baby bee balm coming up. And we did pot up some tomatoes, and they're looking fantastic. I have some in the 6 cells right here because I did run out of solo cups, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to go ahead and keep them. Up next, we are moving on to my second rack. I have some flowers right here that do need to go ahead and be bottom watered. These are my Canterbury bells, and I did go ahead and save these because they are super dry. I'm just not really sure if I can catch them in the light, but they are dry to the bone. So they do need to go ahead and get watered. Again, you can tell I'm touching it. It does not feel moist at all. It feels pretty firm. I do have some grass growing back there. And then towards the back, I have my Sweet Williams and some of my lavender and bee balm. Those need to get potted up at some point. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and get some water in a solo cup, and I'm gonna dump it in the bottom tray. All right, so here is all I do. Literally, I just go ahead and let me see if I can do it so you can see it better. And I just dump it in, and I try and get it at about 1/2 inch or so. Again, I just set a timer. Usually I do this kind of watering at night, so I know that I go ahead and fill it before my kids get ready for bed, and then I will come back afterwards and dump it out because it's usually about a 30 to 45 minute gauge. And then these are my peppers. They are doing pretty well. They're going to need to get potted up soon for sure. So here are my beautiful tomatoes that I started. They are each in their individual solo cup. They are nice and large. They're getting more sets of leaves. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like for the same day of potting up. So these again are my solo cup ones. And then these are the ones that I potted up in a 6-cell tray. It's kind of hard to see the difference, but I did bury them all the way as I could. And these ones are so much bigger and healthier looking than the ones I have in my 6-cell tray. So I just want to show you why I do love going ahead and potting them up into these. I feel like they just grow so much better. And I do plan on keeping these as well, but I just wanted to show you the difference. Now I get a lot of questions asking, when do you know to go ahead and water them? So I'm trying to find one. Here's a good example, and I hope the light will pick it up. But this one right here, you can also tell by the weight too. If it's going to need water, it's going to be super lightweight, but you can also see that it is going to be a lighter brown. If you go ahead, I always test them and I squish it in. And it's still pretty moist, but it is going to be a little bit of a lighter brown. It's starting to dry out. Whereas if I have this one right here, it definitely is a few shades darker. So what I like to do is I always go ahead and touch it. This one is a little bit moist. It still feels firm. So probably in a day or so, I'm going to want to go ahead and water this. But can we just talk about, look at these. They are looking fantastic. And these are just shop lights they're under from Costco. I actually ordered more, so I could go ahead and add a few more rows. I am trying to see if I can find one that needs water. All right, so I found one right here that definitely needs some water. It is a light shade of brown. It is dry to the touch, as dry as can be. And this is the amount of soil. You might have a little bit of dirt flying in there, but this is what it'll look like. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a quick drink. Now I haven't started fertilizing these yet. I probably will next weekend, but I give a very, very diluted solo cup full of fertilizer. I use that Fox Farms Grow Big, and I dilute it a lot. It is expensive, and they just need a tiny bit. You don't really go with what's recommended on the back. I also don't have a gallon watering can, so I'm going to show you quickly how I do this. So I'm just going to hold it out. I'm going to take this out. There's still going to be some water in it, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the water to this line right here. So it's basically going to go ahead and cover the marble. And all you do is you pop it back in, and you can see the water line is going down. So it's going to be searching for that water in the soil, and it definitely just sucked a bunch of it up. And after a while, you're going to see some roots popping out, which is great. It's going to force the plant to go ahead, develop its roots, and search for some water. So it's as simple as that. So this is my big rainbow from M.I. Gardener. Definitely dry, and then you don't have to worry about this one. I'll just come back and check it. Usually it takes about 3 to 4 days before I go ahead and water it. So again, I hope that is helpful. It doesn't take too long to go ahead and water everything. I can't give you a simple schedule saying, oh, you're gonna water every other day or every day. You literally just have to go ahead and keep on checking. I feel like after a while, you'll kind of know what to look for. So again, I don't water unless the top of the soil looks dry and is firm. So go ahead and use your finger, give it a few pokes. If it does have like a sponge-like feel, I won't go ahead and water it, especially my perennials that are going to be drought tolerant. I kind of want them to go ahead and get a feel for what it's like maybe not having so much water for a day. Even though when they are seedlings, you should still go ahead and heavily water them. I kind of just give them an extra day. I'm like, hey, you guys got to get used to it. Sorry. So I'm definitely trying this year to not go ahead and overwater. So if you do a side-by-side comparison and you see that the soil is a dark brown, I wouldn't go ahead and water it. If it does look lighter, and your tray will also feel much lighter, I promise you, you'll start to understand and feel the difference. The tray does feel lighter when you need to go ahead and water because it is drying out. Again, if I find that only a few cells need to go ahead and get some water, I'll just go ahead and just spritz it, especially if they're brand new seedlings. I don't want them to get oversaturated with water. So I really hope that helps. Welcome to my first blog post. It is Sunday. We just turned the clocks ahead, so I'm extremely exhausted. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I hope I covered everything, but you definitely want to go ahead and start getting a fan for circulation. I do have a few places, because this room gets very warm and humid, where I do have a little bit of that green mold coming, so a fan really helps out there. So I will see you guys again, and stay tuned for some more videos and vlogs. Have a great day. Bye.